Well folks, welcome back to the allotment and the channel, where we've had quite a lot of wind over the last sort of 6 or 7 hours. So it's caused a little bit of havoc around the site. You might not be able to tell, but I feel a little bit croaky. I've been struck down with this sickness bug. So I'm not feeling my best today, and I don't intend doing too much. I just don't have the energy. You know when you get really hot and clammy and you're cold and then you're warm and then I've been like that now for the last sort of 4 days, 5 days. So struggling a little bit today, but I thought I've got to come down because there were a guy that needed to pay his rent. He was late. And also when I'm feeling like this, I don't like to just sit down and be cooped up. I think a little bit of fresh air does you good. So all I'm going to do today for this midweek update is I'm just going to have a quick wander around the site, because now everybody's paid the rents, we've got a clearer picture of what's going to be available. Now, at the end of the day, I think one of the big issues that we've had on this plot, can you see me there? Sun's in it. No, that's better. One of the big issues we've had on site here is some of the plots that we offer potential plot holders that are on the waiting list are really, really, really bad. And what the past committee have done, and fairly, is they've said to people, look, you can have the plot for free this year, work it, get it down to, you know, to where you want it, and then next year we'll look at your rent then. I'm a bit reluctant to do that. I just think that we've got to try and get in as much money as we can. The council take their share, and you know, at the end of the day, once they've taken their bit, we don't have a lot of funds left. And with these big water bills, it's not leaving a lot in the kitty to get the jobs done that we want. So what I'm going to do is just have a wander around the plots that are available, just have a quick assessment of them. I'm not talking about rotivating them, doing all that. All I'm saying is getting down to ground zero, getting them flat, getting all the rubbish off, you know, trimming them down, burning all the rubbish, and just giving them a flat area to start with. And then I think, you know, at the end of the day, we can then justifiably charge them for their plot. It's going to be a lot of work, but you know, at the end of the day, if we want to achieve what we want to achieve on the allotment site, then we need every penny that we can get. So I'm going to take it steady, have a walk round, and just show you what we're going to be up against. I think what we'll do is we'll head off down this way because we have reports of a missing polytunnel, and I've just glanced over and I can see something over here, and there we go, just at the bottom there. I don't know if you can see it at the side of the plain polytunnel there. There's a green one. Forgive the wind. Believe it or not, I don't know if you can see, let me see if I can zoom in, the brown shed next to the greenhouse, at the side of that was a polytunnel, and that's travelled all the way across here and here, right the way to here. Now this is the problem with these blow-away tunnels. They call that for a reason. Now I don't think Andy will mind me going on his plot, but it's come a good 100 metres, 150 metres, and landed here. Now this is what annoys me about these blowaways. Fine if you want to have them, but you've got to make sure that they're put in properly and securely. I mean, I don't know what damage that's done from coming all the way from over there, pretty much where that big walnut tree is, mixed plot, but that's landed all the way here. So I'm probably just going to have to try and make that safe before I go and give that's happened before, and I told them, you know, you need to really get that secured down properly. I don't think they're going to be able to fix that now. Right, anyway, let's get on with what we've got to do. So yeah, we've got a couple of plots. This is one, sorry I'm facing you into the sun, this is one here where it's a full plot and it goes right the way back to the greenhouse there. It has got a bit of a shed. There's a few fruit trees on there, but this needs totally clearing. So we're just in the process of getting the bank accounts changed over. One of the first purchases we're going to get is we're going to get our proper heavy duty council-esque strimmer. It has the big blade on, and believe it or not, in a couple of hours you can have that flattened. The worst part about that job is you don't know what's under your feet, so there'll be all sorts of junk under there, and it's going to be a case of getting it to the middle and getting it all burnt, and getting everything down flat, and where we can, getting some covers down. Now, this is another one here. This one has got probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fruit trees. 10 fruit trees. And, you know, there's just no space there for growing. These mounds here, there's 2 of them. These mounds are just where they've put soil and the ivy's grown into it. I think this is going to have to be a machine job. You know, I think we're going to have to get a machine in here to sort this one out. And then over here, we've got a dogwood. Now, I don't know whose dogwood this is, because this is a plot here. And there's that plot, but look at the size and the depth of that dogwood cornice. That is got to be 16 foot across. So both plots are losing out on land, really. So we're going to have to look at that and get that sorted. And I think as well, you know, when you look at that plot with the fruit trees, you know, 9 and 10, 11 fruit trees on a plot, it's a little bit, you know, ridiculous. Now, I'm unsure of whether or not this one is also on the list. I don't think it is. I think this one's being paid for. But this is what I would say is an acceptable standard to be able to let a plot off. So I'm not looking to rotivate it and dig it, as I said earlier. It's just a case of getting it flat so they can see the ground and they can make a plan. And I think that we'd be perfectly within his rights to charge somebody for that plot. I've got to say, there are 1 or 2, well, I think I'm being generous there, 1 or 2 issues with certain plots, and they will remain nameless, whereby they've been on the site probably before me, and the plots never ever changed. That's certainly not going to happen under our sort of leadership, if you like. People are going to have to work the plots, you know. I'm not saying that they have to be something you'd see on Gardener's World. They don't. They just have to justifiably show that they're working the plots and, you know, they're using the allotment for what it's supposed to be. This is another one that I believe's available. Somebody came down, took it. They got a lot of this compost that we get from the local constabulary when they do the drug raids. They used to bring down all the waste compost, and somebody had this plot. They've stacked it under there and they've never been seen. So again, this one, if we strim this down, it goes all the way to that hut there. If we strim this down, I really do think that, again, get it flat, get the tree work done. Same again up at the top there, get that tree work sorted out, get it flat, and then let's see if we can get it let off. Let off. Oh, I can't, you know what? I can't even think about that. Believe it or not, this is a plot. This is a plot. Look at that. Now, at one point, they came in and they cleared the whole lot. And there's beds in here, believe it or not. And they put a gate in. You might be able to just see the remains. Ah, here we go. The remains of where the gate was. And they were never seen again. Now, I know that that looks daunting, but again, with a proper strimmer, you know, you can see this off. Get this literally strimmed down to the ground, boned right out, everything burnt, and, you know, get it covered. This end was supposedly going to be a car park that never came to fruition. Right, let's go up and see these half plots. Walk down the bottom of the track. I'm absolutely out of breath. Believe it. It's really wiped me out as this bug, whatever it is, but I came the other day because, again, I don't like to sit about. I just think sitting in the house and festering, it just makes you feel worse. So I came yesterday and I thought, I'll get a little bit of horse manure for around the brassicas, and by the time I got back, I was absolutely done for. I literally got in the van, went home, I was sweating cobs. So I don't know, but there seems to be quite a few people gone down with this. A couple of the subscribers as well have said that they've not been well. Well, I hope you're all feeling better. And I hope I'm feeling better soon as well, because I don't like to be inactive. Right, we're around this side. Let me turn the camera around. This plot here is one plot from where that tree is there, all the way down to there. You got all that cleared. It was completely clear, and apparently it was work that got in the way, and he struggled. But we've taken his payment and we've said you need to get onto it, and you know, you need to start working it. This is a half plot, so let me see, where's this? What? Yeah, is it? Yes. So it's from here all the way across. So here. And that now has been vacated. There used to be a shed there. So this, to be fair, we'll be able to get in here, sort this fence out, get in here, strim this out, strim right back to the bank there, and I think that that will be a usable and workable half plot for somebody. This plot's taken. Decent shed there. This is a decent plot again. Differing standards, you know, this one's quite good. Now, these two polytunnels have been here quite a while, but again, they've put them in right, so they're not blowing all over. They're well down into the ground, but as you can see, you know, the actual plastic is a bit of a nightmare, to be fair, because they just degrade down and little bits of plastic are dropped into the soil, so not for me at all. I prefer my glass personally. I've got a little bit of roofing from somewhere. This is a good plot here. It works that well. This is available now, and again I think this is going to be easily sorted. I think they're leaving these raised beds, so it's a case of getting in there, strimming in and out, getting all the way across to the back of that plot there, and I think again it will be a lettable plot. That's a better word, Mal. Lettable. So that's a half plot there. This half plot is available. Again, strimming, you know, an hour on a strimmer. Me and Mick can alternate it, and I think that we can get these two half plots, there's one and there's one, in some sort of shape to be able to let out. Obviously the quicker we let it out the better, because you know we sort of charge pro rata, so the quicker we get it out the more money we get back in. So luckily enough, Mick, myself, Martin and a couple of the other guys have got pretty much to bottoming out our plots, so we'll be able to jump on this. While I'm here I might as well walk all the way around. You can see how bad that wind is. I'll just turn you around as well, because this is another plot that you couldn't possibly let that to anybody. So it's going to be a case of getting all this timber into there, getting it trimmed, getting it burnt down and getting it covered, and hopefully that'll make it workable for somebody to come on to. I'm actually having a bit of a deja vu. I don't know if I remember. I think I did film this very same polytunnel, and it was there, and I had to put a load of weights in. I don't know if I filmed it, I can't remember, but this is where the polytunnel was, and it's ended up way over there where you can just see the polytunnel there. Mick's been getting on with his plot. As you can see there, his greenhouse, his beds are all manured. Got a bit of greenhouse work to do though. But yeah, we're all pretty much at the same stage, Mick, Martin and myself. So I'm just walking past the raised beds here just to show you the community hut. We have started doing a little bit of work on that, and there's a lot to do on it. But what we're going to do is make do and mend. You know, until we can try and get some funding streams in, we've just got to make do. But as you can see now, the timber on the top is all rotten. So we're going to get all that down, and we're going to get new timbers on the top of there. The timber below it, all around the sides there, is all fine. There's nothing wrong with it, it's not rotten. And at the bottom of the base there's a metal plate which keeps the soil from the actual timber itself, so it's not bad. That's just going to get a bit of a repaint. You can see where we've, when I'm saying we, Dawn has repainted this side here the other day when we were taking rent, and Brian has helped get all these weeds out. We've got to get them dumped, but we're going to give this a lick of paint, and I think it'll look all right. And all this here, there was two huge buddleias. We've taken them out, we've sorted them out. These are just in the wrong place, so they're going to have to come out. Well, maybe not both, but certainly that one there. This one here, sorry, because it's right on the roadside. So when that grows, you know, cars are scraping by. But there's nothing wrong with this timber. Nothing wrong with it at all. But that up there is absolutely rotten. So this is going to be one of our jobs. So we're into the committee room here. So one of the things I'm thinking of doing in here is, while we're doing the mending, is just rebuilding this floor. Water just runs straight in here. So all this floor here is ruined. So it needs sorting out. So this table is screwed to the floor, believe it or not. I don't know why, because if anybody try to steal it, they're not getting it out of there. But it's screwed to the floor. We're going to unscrew that so that we can make this room a little bit more flexible. And we're going to give this a good lick of paint. Put some stain on these, stain the timbers on the roof, and we've got a Cala gas heater that we're going to use for now, and we're going to hopefully get this done for a Christmas fuddle. There is attempts of putting a kitchen sort of unit at the back of here, and we think we're going to do that, and we're going to plumb it in to the water outside and have a little bit of a proper sink and units here. Get some of these units put up on the wall. All the doors are there, so have a little bit of a kitchen type area here. There's some worktop down there. Yeah, and stain all that back up. Christmas tree in corner. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. You know, I mean, we've given it a good clean now. This is where we were taking the rent. So, yeah, it's going to be work in progress, but hopefully we can get this looking somewhat like for the Christmas function, which I will invite you along to. But as you come outside, you can see we've got one of our water points here. So just behind that wall there is where the kitchen sink is. So we're looking at doing that. But this looks, believe it or not, 100 times better than what it did. Right, we're nearly done a full circuit now. This, as you can see up at the top there, that's the back of my shed there. This plot is now available. This is going to take some shifting. There's a lot of stuff here that a lot of the plot holders could probably make use of, so we're going to get all that off and create an area where people can come and take it. There's some timbers over here that we can probably use to edge off in front of the community hut there. And then I do know, obviously, because this used to be my old plot here, and you can probably see the remnants of my old 3-bay composting system. I do know that he's covered quite a lot of that, believe it or not. So we can get in there, get that off, and hopefully get that trimmed. Obviously take down the plastic greenhouse and start again. Right, let's get back to the plot. So there you go. Can pretty much, that's only sort of like one lap of this row of plots. We've still got quite a few available on the other side. So we've got quite a lot of work in front of us, but we're all pretty keen, you know. Once we get started, like I say, once I get this plot put to bed, we can crack on in earnest. I've just walked around there and I'm absolutely shattered. It's one of the, I don't know what this bug is, but you get to a point and all of a sudden you start to feel a little bit better. And then the minute you go out and just do a little bit, it's like, knocks you for six again. So, yeah, that's just been as much as I can do today. So I just thought I'd check in with you. Hopefully I'll be a little bit more active by the weekend. But I think today, the best bet for me is to get myself off home. I'll go try and sort that greenhouse, that polytunnel out, get myself off home, get in the bath and get my feet up. Anyway, listen, thank you very much, guys, for listening, and following the channel. Thank you very much for those people that like and subscribe. And also, there's a new thing called hype now. If you could hype this video, that would be brilliant. I believe you go into the comments and you swipe across and you can hype it there. What that does, I've no idea. But also, you can hit that subscribe button if you're watching and you've not done that. Right, listen, lads and lasses, I'm getting myself off. Hope to see you at the weekend. Until then, everybody take care, get better, and happy growing.